Hey everyone, Lewis here, aka ShortyBeard, and this is going to be potentially a little bit different of a video. Some very raw, very probably unedited, just kind of behind the scenes thing. So one of my friends, my friend Dennis, has encouraged me to start doing some more vloggy style stuff, behind the scenes stuff, talk about like how I make my covers and things like that. And so yeah, this gonna be a quick short little video. I'm gonna give you as quick and concisely as I can the process of from idea to completion, how I do a cover. Often this process begins right here. I'm listening to music and a song comes on that I go, yeah, I want to cover that. Step 2 is to come right here to ultimateguitar.com. Search for the song that you are looking for up here. If they have any entries for it, it'll pop up here. And then you want to go right here to this Guitar Pro tab and look for a version that doesn't have, one of these marks on here. You want one that's made by a user, so a free version that says Guitar Pro next to it. I like this one. And now you have sheet music with all the different parts. Once you have selected the tab that you want to download, you come down, scroll down to the bottom. So this was up here. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and hit Download Guitar Pro tab, and you will get a download of it. It will also say who made it. So, shout out to this user for making this particular Guitar Pro file. In the next step, we're going to show you what program to open it in and where to go. So, once you have the file downloaded, you'll have something that looks like this. So actually, let's see. You'll have a file that looks like this right here. Okay. Now, if I come back to where I store all my files here, I just shortened it so the name was shorter. It was easier to deal with, and I've done a version where I've already transposed this song to be half a step higher than the original because I'm playing it on a guitar that's tuned down half a step, and it's easier for me to sing it actually half a step higher because I sing it an octave lower. But anyway, that's digressing. I'm going to go ahead and open this file. Now, you'll see the program that I'm using is not Guitar Pro. The program I'm using is a free open source program called Tux Guitar. So just go search for this on Google, tuxguitar.com.ar, and you can download this program, and it will open these files for you. And then you can come in here and hit play and hear all the different pieces. Here's my rhythm guitar. Here's my lead electric guitar. Here's the vocal melody. Here's the pad. Here's the drums. Here's this what is that? The synth bass lead, brass and lead thing. There's another electric guitar here. And then what is this thing down here? Overdrive guitar. So there's a bunch of guitars. 4 different guitars. And then, once we are satisfied with, the whatever key we're in this program, in order for me to do it to make it be on a guitar that's half step down, I actually have to come in here to the properties. Well, I didn't do it on the bass. I just changed what the bass was playing. But on the electric guitars, because I will be playing in an electric guitar half step down, I changed the tuning. So I had to do that. I had to go through here and change the tuning on all the instruments appropriately and then transpose the sheet music appropriately. Tools, transpose. It shows you right up here. Easy peasy. And then you just go File, Export, MIDI. And the file that will be exported, minimize this, will be a .mid file, a MIDI format file. And then you can take that MIDI file and you can load it into pretty much any digital audio workstation of your choice. So it'll work with Pro Tools, it'll work with Ableton, it'll work with Cubase, it'll work with GarageBand, it'll work with Studio One, which is my preferred choice. With Studio One, I just drag the MIDI file into my arranger in Studio One, and it automatically creates all the individual tracks. And it has all the MIDI information in them. I just rename them according to what each track is, so that way I can easily identify them in Studio One. And then I go about applying virtual instrument presets to each one of the elements, depending on what they are, so I can have something to hear. And I get all my tempo and key and my arranger stuff set up, so I know where the intro and the verse and the chorus and all that is. I do all of that in Studio One, which I will show you some of that later, but that is a much more complicated, in-depth process for me, and I'm not quite there yet, so you're just gonna get this little bit of teaser for now. But yeah, you do all that stuff in Studio One, and then I just slowly, one by one, for all the things that I can play and can perform, which is usually guitar, bass, vocals, things like that, I'll just go through and slowly replace each element one by one, until often the only thing I'm left with that came from that original MIDI file is probably the drum MIDI, maybe sometimes the bass line, or keys or other little elements and stuff like that. Of course, the sounds that you're hearing don't come from anywhere else. They come from Studio One. It's samples that are built into the virtual instruments of Studio One. And that doesn't always necessarily translate perfectly. So, a lot of work has to be done on going in and adjusting the timing of things to make it feel natural, humanize things, adjust velocities and stuff like that, so that way you can have something, just feel more natural and more human for the elements you are going to keep. But it gives me something as a musician that is doing mostly everything by myself. It gives me a backing track to play to, and it allows me to get there very quickly and very efficiently without having to blow a whole lot of time sitting and figuring every single little detail out by ear. So hopefully that helps some people out there, and you get some useful tips out of this. Everything that I just showed here basically was free, with the exception of obviously whatever DAW you're going to use. But there are free DAW options out there, and anything like this should work. Most DAWs should be able to import MIDI files, and you should be able to just have all that information ready to go. So anyway, see you guys later. ShortyBeard out. Come in here, dear boy, have a cigar, you're gonna go far. You're gonna fly high, you're never gonna die. You're gonna make it if you try, they're gonna love you. But I've inside a deep respect, and I mean that most sincerely. The band is just fantastic, that is really what I think. Oh, by the way, which one is pink? And did they tell you the name of the game? Boy, we call it riding the gravy train.